Mistakes to avoid when traveling alone. When you travel alone, it is a beautiful experience that will cause you to grow in many areas. However, there is a right and wrong way to do it. Making the best of your solo trip takes a little thought and a few precautions. When you do this, you will create a positive and memorable vacation that you will be happy to remember forever. Here are some mistakes that are commonly made by solo travelers, ones that you will want to be careful to avoid. Not preparing sufficiently beforehand. Possibly the worst mistake you could make when traveling solo is not doing enough to prepare before going on your trip. Try to think of every detail of your upcoming trip. Think about things that could go wrong, and what you would do in those situations. Bring a first aid kit with you on your vacation, and book accommodations beforehand instead of showing up without knowing where you will sleep that night. Arriving late at night. More often than not, people seem more concerned about whether they will fly at a comfortable time of day than booking their flight to arrive early in the day. When possible, choose to fly through the night and arrive in the day, instead of flying through the day and arriving at night. By arriving while the sun is still out, it will give you time to get familiar with your surroundings before night arrives and everything shuts down. Getting intoxicated. It is fine to have a drink or two when on vacation, but when you are traveling alone you need to be vigilant about not drinking too much. Being alone puts you in a slightly more vulnerable position than someone who is traveling with a companion. For this reason, know your limits and stop drinking before putting yourself in a potentially precarious situation. Being more concerned about others' feelings than your own safety. Traveling solo is not the time to try to be polite at all costs. Even if standing up for yourself is difficult for you, make it a point to become more assertive while you are on your trip. If someone or a certain situation makes you feel uncomfortable, leave or find help. Don't be afraid to reject the advances of unwanted attention. Put yourself and your safety before the feelings of others. Not knowing the culture. One of the biggest mistakes people make when traveling alone is not studying or at least becoming familiar with the culture and customs of the country they are visiting. When you plan to take a holiday to any country, remember that you are the visitor. You are responsible for making any necessary changes to your behavior, not the people in the country you are visiting. Learn about all the big and small details that will help you to get along well with those whose country you are temporarily residing in. It will help you feel less awkward, and potentially keep you out of trouble as well. Traveling solo is a great experience, and by avoiding these common mistakes, you can make your holiday less likely to contain unnecessary drama. Many people have made these mistakes in the past and learned the hard way. Save yourself the trouble, and remember these tips.